I enjoy looking after teenagers. That's my forte, I would say. That gives me the most buzz. With little adjustments, it's quite easy to help them have more confidence, increase their self-esteem, and I like to think that I was making a difference into their lives. I realise through my teaching that maybe some young people didn't have the kind of background where they had a stable home environment for whatever reason. Every day is different and brings fresh challenges, and the young person who does need some help from an adult who's not scared of the behaviour and who actually wants what's best for them. I've been fostering now altogether for about 11 years. I did 9 years and then came back to it recently in the last 2 years as a single carer. I enjoy fostering teenagers. It keeps me feeling young. I enjoy the music and the shopping and all that kind of thing with a teenager. It gives you a different outlook on life. At the moment, I'm a single carer. It doesn't have to be a mother and father type background. I think anybody that's got a modicum of strength of character to be able to put the boundaries in can be a foster carer. You don't have to be liked to be a foster carer. A good sense of humour, I think, is really important. I don't think there's much difference actually in terms of behaviour. You can't say that a 4-year-old is going to behave any better than a 16-year-old because sometimes the difficulties can be the same. You know, there's frustration there if they haven't learnt the meaning of the word no. Some people are put off by looking at the idea of looking after older ones, and I would say to them, don't be, because there isn't that much difference between an older person and a younger child in that they need adults to put boundaries in and they need some love and care and support. For me, I rather like dancing around to the latest music with the teenagers. When you're considering fostering, there's a lot of stuff that you'd probably be anxious about and just not knowing about. I would say just ask and just think about it. The idea of helping someone prepare for independence, I like that. I like cooking myself, and I like cleaning actually, doing stuff in the house and shopping, and I enjoy taking a young person with me to do that. So I think a lot of adults, if they think about it, would have a lot of skills to transfer for older ones. You don't have to start with a little one and sort of build up to a teenager. They are bigger, and sometimes if one is cross and is standing in your face shouting at you, yeah, that could be a little bit off-putting, but I would say it's only because they're upset, you know. I would say to anybody who has a preconceived idea of what a teenager, a typical teenager, looks like and acts like, please forget all of that. People have things in common, whether they're teenagers or not. There will be things that you'll have in common with young people. There'll be things that, particularly for me, technology, they always know more about it than I do, which is actually quite useful because they can help you to work your mobile phone. You should give each person a chance in life as well as in fostering. Sometimes if you see a teenager with a surly expression, that can be because they're upset and feeling not confident with themselves. It doesn't really mean they're going to steal your handbag. My personal experience of fostering young people has been delightful. I haven't had any trouble. They do wear hoodies, some of them, and they look very nice in them too, but it's not the kind of situation where you need to be afraid. We shouldn't put labels on people. Talk to them and find out as much as you can about the young person. I don't think there's any reason to be thinking that a hoodie is going to arrive on your doorstep and terrorise your life. Through fostering, I've met some delightful young people. There are some that go to information events, and I have to say, I don't know them very well, but I'm very proud of them. They must have overcome very difficult lives and situations, and to think that they then face opposition of people who want to stick a label on them and not a very nice one, is not good. When I first started fostering, I had quite a lot of experience as a college lecturer and a teacher. That's not essential. What is essential is to be very strong in your own beliefs and boundaries. I've never ever been hurt or afraid of a foster child, nor do I ever expect to be. Everybody gets angry, some people slam doors. They are upset sometimes usually by the circumstances they find themselves in, and they can get really, really frustrated. They've also got, the ones I have, teenage hormones running around the head. They've got school to go to, they've got a life and a future to think of, and it's all happening all at once. There is support in the local authority. We have some good behaviour courses for carers to go on, and we have opportunities for people to learn different skills. And actually it's important to start to think of things slightly differently, to see things from the young person's perspective. I've been very lucky that some comments have come back from the young people. You do not do this because you expect something back. But it is really nice when you get a little something, a thank you, a smile. A smile is good, actually. When you see a child who's got the weight of the world on his or her shoulders, and then you help them and they sort of grow a bit taller and a bit lighter looking and smile a lot, that's really good. It's really nice when they remember times that they've had with you. We've done quite a lot of cooking and having family meals and things like that. Giving positive experiences is something that they really value, and trusting them to do things is something else that they've said is good. When I go to my support group meetings, it's quite interesting to hear from other carers, and we tell each other what's gone on, because you've got to remember you have to do this in safety. You can't just go and tell your friends about children that you're looking after, because there's issues of confidentiality attached to that. You do need good support networks with your family and friends. They need to understand a bit about what you do, and they need to be there for you. Something that happens at our support groups when we get together is we share the positives as well. And so there's a common theme, I think, runs through those. Children enjoy experiences. It doesn't have to cost money. They enjoy playing board games. They enjoy having sandwiches on the rug in front of the fire. Just like ordinary, what I would class as ordinary family experiences. Sometimes some of the children and young people that we have phobias and fears which are irrational to us, but to them it's a result of what's happened to them. So we talk about that as well, and we talk about how we can help different children through those. But it's very common for things like that to fade into the background the more confident the young people get to feel about themselves. So success is important. We do a lot of talking about school. Part of a foster carer's role is to be advocate for your child at school, and sometimes they do things at school that get them into trouble, and sometimes that's a pattern that they're in. There's a stigma attached sometimes to being looked after in the care system. They're sometimes bullied at school. Sometimes teachers don't always understand what's going on at home for them, so it's up to us to be their voice in school situations. I don't think there's a special skill set. I think you need to know yourself quite well. Obviously, I'm not an Olympic athlete by any manner of means. I don't think you need to be going out running and doing stuff with them physically, but you do need to facilitate for them to do stuff. Think about networks for those young people. Like, is there a youth club? My foster child, he was an instigator in this first youth group that they meet in Blythe now. So we're quite pleased about that. Northumberland is notoriously bad geographically. You need to be a taxi driver. You need to facilitate them going out to meet other people. Life skills, if you've lived life and if you've had sadness in your life, and if you've had joy, and if you can help somebody else, that would be ideal for teenage fostering. You don't need to be a teacher. There's no such thing as a daft question. You can ask anybody in the Northumberland fostering team anything you want. If you don't know, just ask, find out, go on the training, share with other carers, talk to the social workers, and they are there to help you be successful with the young people. I enjoy the fact that I'm with Northumberland because I think the training's really good, and I enjoy learning from and working with other foster carers. I would say it is the most rewarding thing that I've done, and I continue to do it because I get a reward from it every day. Watching a young person grow, smile, enjoy life, and actually fit into society despite what's happened to them before in their lives. And that for me is a good enough reason to carry on doing it, and it's my privilege and pleasure to do that.